Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chloe Ray. I am a pre-vet major here at SAU, and for my persuasive speech today, I will be talking about why you should spay your pets. This is a very detrimental topic in the veterinary medicine community and world. Without spaying your pet, you can face very many health issues, behavioral issues. We'll hit more on that in later slides. But this is just a very important topic that needs to be shared, and throughout this slideshow today and presentation, I will be showing some pretty graphic pictures, so I just wanted to give a forewarning for that. But it's very, very important for you to see these and know what can happen if you do not spay your pet. Now, to kick off today's presentation, the big question is, why should I spay my pet? This is a huge question that many owners ask, and they don't really realize the benefits of spaying your pet. The benefits of spaying would be to protect against different health issues, to reduce stray population, and to prevent behavioral issues. All of these issues can be avoided by spaying your pet. So owners may not really realize how important it is and how much it can protect you and your animal. For this slide, what does spaying mean? This is the definition of spaying your pet. It's the process of removing all female organs that are inside your dog, including the uterus, the fallopian tubes, the ovaries. These allow your dogs to come into a heat cycle, and they allow your dogs to reproduce. The heat cycle is kind of the red flag of saying, hey, I am able to have puppies at this point, or kittens. Spaying is a term for a female, while neutering is the term for a male, but today my main focus is predominantly on spaying. Now we will get into our 3 big reasons of why you should spay your pet. Our number 1 reason is health issues. With having a uterus and all of the female organs inside the pet comes some serious health issues if owners aren't aware of what's happening. Number 1 is a pyometra. It's a uterine infection that can move throughout the bloodstream, which can be fatal. This infection is called like the silent killer in veterinary medicine, just because there's not many symptoms for this infection. It's the uterus just builds up an infection. It can cause a fever, but other than that, without going in and exploring, if we know that your dog is not spayed, that's normally a trigger, but for some it may not be a trigger. So that's why we call it the silent killer. We also have mammary tumors, so breast cancer in our pets. They can either be benign or malignant, and they're caused by spikes of estrogen, which is released in a dog's heat cycle. So as your dog comes into heat, their hormones are going to spike through the roof. And large amounts of that estrogen can cause these mammary tumors. They might show up as small. You may not feel them until they get very, very large, which can be fatal to your pet. And many owners don't really, rub on their stomachs very much, and they really don't notice these spots until they get large. So this is another reason why you should spay your animal. And for this slide, we have our second reason to spay. This is to reduce the stray population. Many dogs become strays due to abandonment. The male dogs that are around your location can generally smell when the females come into heat, which causes the male strays to travel to your female. Your female may be confined in a pen, but trust me, those males will find a way to get to them. If your dog is not spayed, this will happen, and your dog can become pregnant. If you do not want these puppies or can't find home for these puppies, they can be strays, which can increase the stray population. So when a female dog is abandoned, say it's not your pet, it's just one on the street, normally you'll see their breast hanging low because they have been mothers before, because when they're abandoned, they're not generally taken care of. They're just out there, they're not spayed. So the males will come to them, and this will generally add to the stray population, which is very, very bad around our town here in Magnolia. That's why we have a great rescue CCAPS. You can go down and see all of the strays and hopefully find you one from your own. Now, CCAPS comes to my work here at Eastridge Animal Hospital, and we spay just about any stray female that comes to us, and we also neuter the males. This reduces the stray population a whole lot. Now, for our third big reason, we have behavioral issues. An intact female, when they go into heat, they release sex hormones that can cause stress, aggression, and anxiety. Once your dog is spayed, they will not release these hormones in such large amounts, so it will cut back on the stress, cut back on the anxiety, and cut back on the aggression. Once your dog comes into heat, they release large amounts of these hormones, which cause them to go into a mothering state. Now, this mothering state can cause a lot of anxiety and aggression in your dog. They generally mother their toys just because they aren't going to have babies of their own. And this can cause a lot of aggression. Say if you go down there to reach to grab their toy, they may stress out and freak themselves out, which that's a lot of anxiety that's released due to these sex hormones. So a female that is not intact, which is spayed, will not release these large amounts of hormones, so they should not go through these stages anymore. This is a great reason why you should spay your pet, because you will not have to deal with these behavioral issues. Spaying your pet is a very, very simple routine that's generally done at every single vet clinic that you will go to. Many animals are spayed at the ages of 6 months to 1 year, but we do have a few laggers that lag behind. You might want 1 litter of puppies to yourself or to give to your family, and then we'll generally spay them. Most shelters offer help with the cost of spaying. Here, our local CCAP shelter, you can go there and you can get a waiver for a low-cost CCAP spay. This is to help maybe college kids, or if you don't have enough money to get your animal spayed, because it's a very expensive process. I say very expensive. It's generally around $150, which most college kids don't have, as we normally all get dogs in college just to help with our stress and our anxiety. We may not have that money to pay to get our dogs spayed, but you can also go to CCAPs and they can help you out a lot. Overall, spaying your pet is a very, very good idea for you and your pet. It can save you in the long run from having to pay more money due to health issues or behavioral issues. You might think it's a training issue that you're dealing with, but it's actually a behavioral issue due to the released hormones in your female pet. I just wanted to say thank you for listening to my presentation today. I hope I really persuaded you into spaying your pet. Now, I did predominantly focus on dogs today, but this also is for cats as well. These issues run in dogs, cats, just about every animal, female animal that you see. I did focus on spaying today just because I feel like that's more of a huge topic, and you have a whole lot more health issues with a female animal than what you do with a male. They are risk having a male animal and having him still intact, but spaying, to me, is the most important thing to get done to your animal. Without spaying, we would have a lot of issues in our world and in our community, just due to the overrun of strays, the health issues, the behavioral issues. Spaying really helps calm down those issues a lot. And many owners may not know that until a vet stresses that to them. If you ever have any questions, you can always ask me. I can enter in my email in one of these slides. I will be so happy to answer any questions that you may have about you or your pet. And you can also come down to Eastridge, and our vet, Dr. Brian, he will help you tremendously. I just wanted to say thank you for listening to me, and I hope I talked to you into spaying your future animal.